Guess what, Johnny? We're live on the scene. Get three bids. You gonna make a rap song?
I actually did last night.
No, you didn't.
I swear on my life.
I'm ESP, dude.
There,
I got ESP, bro.
And he's like, bro.
I swear, I thought that.
You just straight up fucking rapped your company.
Oh, you got your unique sales proposition? Get three bids. How'd the rap go, Johnny?
It was crazy.
Nuh-uh. Seriously? Dude, guys, get three bids. What's up, man? My name's Haight. I'm live in my office. I wanted to share with you a moment. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Johnny Neal. He's a top dog at Roofing Professionals. Come on around, dude. Come on around. Everybody likes it when it's a group affair. Everybody likes it whenever there's multiple people on. Johnny, he's a proven salesperson. He's knocked probably I'd say half as many doors as me.
Yeah, right.
You've knocked more than half. Yeah. You think you've knocked as many doors as me? What's up, guys? How you doing? What's up, Nicole Chapman? What's up, Brian Wilson? What's up, Sam? Yeah, we are here in South Florida. A little bit slow. Give me some hearts here. I'm going to tell you how I landed the biggest job of my life. It was the easiest commercial job. Johnny here is one of our top guys at our RCA, and he's got a company called Get Three Bids. It's going to change the industry, and if you're interested in talking to him a little bit more, going to be basically getting his input on landing large jobs. So, guys, let me tell you a little bit of story, okay? I was dealing with some heartache, some pain, and you ever know, like, whenever one door closes, another door opens, and I'm sitting here beating myself up over actually losing a really top guy. It was a guy that was in our company, and you know, he made a decision to move on, and it's good for me to say transparently that if you don't give people a place to grow, then they go, and it's natural. If you hire people in this business, what's the average lifespan of an individual in roofing?
2 months.
Yeah, come on, dude. Be a little bit nicer than that. Come on, guys. I mean, like, if you're a good company for retainage, like, it's not just about recruiting talent. Guys have a hard time keeping talent. One of the reasons why they don't want to hire people is they don't want to invest time in training them, and they don't want to lose them. I mean, one of the biggest problems they have.
True story.
So what's the average rate, you think? How many companies you work for? Who you work for?
6 to 8 months.
So how long you been doing this?
12 years.
12 years?
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, so what I did was I was dealing with a closed door opportunity, and it was a sad day. And about 2 or 3 days later, another door opened, because basically my higher power, whenever he closes one door, it seems to just the next day sequentially open another one. And what happened was you know, one of the leads that we had been out and talked to changed the board. And what happens in South Florida is these boards, these HOA, these homeowners associations, they change. And when they change, the decision maker changed, the whole deal changes. And as soon as a new board is elected, everything is basically washed and starts all over. And so these people reach back out to us, and you know, I teach my salespeople to do what's called a completed offer. And I believe that this builds more value into our customer. It's the third step in our sales process. We call it the invest. We invest into our customer. We try to do more due diligence than anybody else. But at this time, I went to go check in the CRM, and this lead, this $5 million, 3,000 square plus tile roof, I see some big dogs on the stream. And if you're interested in connecting with me and collaborating, Harvey Cohen, I want to work with you, man. And I was actually looking for somebody to collaborate, to dominate with on one of these large projects. Talked to a few different people today, but I want you to know one thing. This is a slam dunk case. It's a 17-year-old discontinued tile, over 3,000 squares with 6 to 7 leaking buildings. The board elected to hire us on the second meeting, and it was because of the way that we prepared our estimate. Now, I'm here where I get to spend time with my family in South Florida, but South Florida is actually in season. It's hot. What's this place do during season, bro?
Shutdown mode.
Shutdown mode. Come on, man. Tell me what it's like. Like, no. we double in population, right?
Sure.
You live here in Naples. Johnny's got a baby on the way. Give him some hearts. Tell Johnny congratulations. He's going to be having a baby Monday.
Yeah.
Show him your watch. He upgraded, man. This guy right here is one of those $1 million producers. How much you up to so far?
Right under 3.
Right under $3 million. So when you're going to present to large loss projects, what do you think is the one thing that you're going to have more than anything else?
The view of being the expert, I would say.
Assuming the sale. So the first step is to be sold on yourself, and the way that you're sold on yourself is you prepare. I would prepare by training in my commercial masterclass, but that's just me. If you want to learn how to close commercial deals from a guy that closed Grant Cardone, then you could take my commercial masterclass. But when you assume the sale, that's the first step in the process. You know that you're the best solution, and you're sold that it's your moral duty to close the deal. And what happens is like you can actually transfer your trust and the way that you look at people in the eyes, the way that you stand up tall, the way that you poke your chest out, the way that you have your shirt tucked in. You got to look the part. And if you don't really have that confidence, whether you don't have the confidence in the technical, you don't have the confidence in that you've done it before, it's going to show. So what you want to do is you want to practice. You want to surround yourself with others that have been there. And, you know, Johnny's been there before. But let me tell you a little story of how this happened. We get into this board, and really we find out that the ball's been dropped, that they've gone through some illegal repairs, that they've already had the wrong contractor give them misinformation. And they're really disappointed in both the property management company, the ex-board member, the general contractor that dropped the ball. And you got to be careful. You got to be careful not to alienate every single person in the process. So the old board president was there with me, and he didn't have anything to do with the mistakes because he didn't get on the roof. And I didn't want to make sure, because he was still a part of the decision, I didn't want to alienate anybody in the process. I wanted to tell him, look, anybody could have made this mistake. Anybody could have overlooked this damage. And really, I'd say the number one tip that I would say to closing commercial jobs is to show, not tell people what's wrong with their roof. And physically, guys, you have to do a little bit more investing into your clients with what I call a digital analysis. Digital analysis is pictures of the damage, video inspections of the roof. A lot of times, even on thermal roofs, we'll do a thermal roof investigation. We'll find moisture underneath the roof, and we'll document the ever living, just really document it. And with notes, do you put notes with your pictures?
Notes, I tell, everything.
Okay,
AOB.
so I don't know if y'all ever been an unpaid consultant. Who in here, give me a sad face if you've ever got a big claim approved and then lost it because you didn't have the right contract signed. I know right before I closed Grant Cardone, I lost a $750,000 deal and a $300,000 deal in the same week. I lost $1 million in business in the same week. And I learned some lessons. And that was that you should never proceed with an individual without being retained as the contractor. You should have your contract filled out exactly like we teach you this in a commercial masterclass, whether it's the assignment of benefits, the limited power of attorney. What you have to do is you have to make them understand that you have to be retained, not only as the contractor, but the person that they have their full and unnerving trust with this damage, with the estimate. And it's not that we're talking policy, it's just that we're going to help these people get back to normal, and we're going to give them a fair price. So what we did on this commercial job was we documented the crap out of it. We brought our references, and our case studies speak for themselves. When you go to a property manager, get three bids, tell them how get three bids works.
Get three bids is an alternative, obviously, to the standard sales system.
I call it another revenue stream.
Yeah.
Get three bids is another way to get leads into my cycle. It's a campaign, and tell them how it works.
Yeah. So customer signs up for 3 estimates. They get 3 estimates free of charge. Contractor gets an opportunity to bid on the job, get their name in the hat, and win the job. And so there's no lead fees. There's no.
So Johnny doesn't charge a lead fee until it's approved by actually a contracted person. But what he does is he goes to the property manager. He says, I'll get you 3 bids. I'll manage the contract. I'm going to charge the contractor who's hired a small referral fee. He doesn't necessarily tell that property manager how much the referral fee is going to be. The contractor then agrees to pay the referral fee. He gets 3 certified contractors. He manages the contract. What do they want to see in the bid? What do they ask for most, Johnny?
The best value. I mean,
best value, transparency, yeah, cost effective, integrity, and quality. That's what comes into value. Well,
right. It's not the price at the end of the day. It's a bid. So at the end, the insurance company is going to pay what they're going to pay, and you guys are going to come to an agreement. So they know they just have to get the number one quality.
There's a misconception with insurance claims roofers. They think that they can't give a bid. They're worried and concerned. Give me some hearts if you've ever been worried and concerned about giving a price that exceeded what the insurance company allowed, or that was lower than what the insurance company paid. And because of this like fear or anxiety, you didn't actually share your estimate transparently with the customer. See, this is wrong. That's not how it's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with that per se. But if you will explain to the customer that your estimate's probably going to be higher than the wholesale insurance company because they're always 300, 400, 500% too low, you can show them how you put a better quality roof up to Florida building code or up to the building code in your area, and you add that property value in their home. And so whether it's the warranty or it's the quality, you want them to understand the way insurance works. It doesn't matter if they save money on a contract. There's a depreciation. There's an amount of money that's held back to make sure that the work's completed. And so even if you're given a bid, okay, even if you're given a bid in the insurance, you still want to tell these people that it's not about price. What it's about is value.
Getting the best job done.
And so you show value by not just showing the pictures of the damage. See, when we went to this proposal, from the first day that I met the board to the day that I had the $5 million contract was 3 days. And on the third day, we met on a quorum. And what you have to do with the board is you have to get all the people in line. And you have to get everybody to the freaking kitchen table, and you have to get all the objections out in the open. You have to find out it's just like a jury. Who is going to be the person holding you back from the deal? And so what we did is we after inspecting every single roof in those 3 days, is we had a line item exactimate. We have notes for building codes underneath each individual line item. It wasn't extremely aggressive. It wasn't an extremely aggressive exactimate. I think we came in at like $1,900 a square. That I left off scaffolding, I left off paint, I left off a lot of different things that I'm going to bring into the equation. And I told them that it was a work in progress, and I told them it was a rough draft, but I was willing to share the line item breakdown. This thing was this thick. My exactimate, sketch opted into the line item breakdown. I've got photographs, and I've got the case studies. And this is what I call a completed offer. When you can deliver very fast to a commercial business owner, to a board, a really detailed report with photos and a description. If you can deliver, like thermal photos, if you can get a satellite roof measurement, and, many people would be very afraid to give away an exactimate estimate, but I got these people to retain me as the contractor before they were able to hold on to the estimate. So I showed them the estimate. I went through some of the things that we were going to talk about. I talked to them about things that I left off, but more importantly, I said, look, if you're going to retain me, you can take this home, we can start the process, and it was an exchange of value. And so we went through the 5 steps of the blue collar close. We interrupted the customer. And I'm going to say congrats and shout out to a young Padawan by the name of Troy. He's 22 years old. He's a Navy graduate. You want to recruit guys that were on scholarship for the Navy, and he decided that he was a little bit of a renegade and wanted to do something besides being the Navy, but he came into roofing, and I turned him into a knock star. And this guy's out here planting seeds that sometimes take time, and the seed took probably 6 months for the board to change and for these people to reach out to us. But when they did, they were ready because they had 6 leaking buildings. They have moisture coming in their property, and they just want to know why. Why have they had these problems, these misconceptions? Roofers, they're not transparent enough. You're not fast enough at giving written proposals. You don't understand that people don't trust you. And what you have to do is you have to build value in you, your company, and your process. You have to get everybody on the same page. One way you can do this is by training in my university with me every single day. See, we took this deal, and literally today we shipped out assignment of benefits. We got on the same page with the HOA's attorney, and we shipped out a $5 million contract less than 3 days from first contact from me. My young Padawan had been following up, getting me into this opportunity, and I'm very grateful for a team effort because it is truly a team. But when it comes to closing, it's about a transfer of trust. And if you don't have those referrals, then it's best sometimes to lean on the power of a buddy and a team and a network. And so, a lot of the people in the Sky Diamonds Elite Network, they lean on my referrals. But what do you think that like we have had with resort management, with all different kinds of property management and public adjusters, a track record of like, we take the claims from zero to hero, replace the roofs. We did a 160,000 square foot roof in 90 days, tear off to install. What do you think this track record does? Does it make it to where I have to sell?
No, not at all.
I don't have to sell.
The production.
I'm doing more selling right now on this video than I do in the.
Yeah.
But these videos, they help me sell.
Production definitely sells itself when you have the time and the focus to get your jobs done right and quick and make it appealing to end user, which is the property manager in most cases.
This is the second step in the process. You have to find out what's their biggest concern. How do you find out their biggest concern? I say you should interrupt the customer, then you should investigate. How do you get to the bottom of what's holding you back from the deal? What questions do you ask?
Yeah. What is your concern? You know, what have I not explained to you today that you would ultimately think to go the other way?
What have other roofers told you? What has been your ideas about the claim? What are some other stuff? Where are you at in the process? What did you think about your insurance company? Who's been on this roof?
Yeah.
They call me the honey badger because whenever I'm spitting out questions, it's like cross-examination. And what you want to do is you want the person asking the questions is the expert. So you want to be armed and practice with these questions. And so I've probably done thousands of Facebook Lives. I have practiced this stage presentation called the Perfect Webinar from Russell Brunson. And my practice at doing Facebook Lives, at doing stage presentations, it allowed me in this room to command every single person. And when we left there, someone, Marty Chickenhawk, he's one of my older senior sales reps, said, Lee, you have an innate ability to look at someone in their eyes and figure out what they're thinking, like what their objection is, and then go ahead and just answer what their objection is. Because I had probably like 2 people in the room that were openly contesting hiring me as the contractor. And so I focused not just on these people. I would come and continue to come back to these people and give them the most amount of my attention, but I would move and I would make eye contact with everybody and bring them on board. And so this was 3,000 squares of tile. I will tell you, if you don't do a written proposal, if you don't have experience, you got to take lots of pictures, make lots of notes, but really look them very much dressed up, shaved, looking like $1 million, pulling up there. You sell how you feel, so you got to look the part, and you got to stand up in front of people with some practice. So if you don't have practice on a stage, if you don't have practice, one of the best ways you can practice is making video content. You can make Facebook Lives. If you're not, presenting at your local BNI groups, if you're not presenting at your local channel, hey Johnny, tell them about the deal you set up for me. Remember Keller Williams?
Oh, yeah.
So how'd you set it up?
About 40 different realtors in one room. Just do a lunch and learn.
So that's a good way for
them. To lunch and learn, absolutely. Walk into an office
So how'd y'all set that up?
Just literally talking to people. I network. I go into a storm. I look for the realtors. I look for the property managers. I go to them. I talk to them and make it happen.
So Johnny, he put me with the person that's in charge of Keller Williams. We did a presentation. We've done a lot of these. We do these lunch and learns all the time. We do them with insurance agents. We do them with realtors. I'm presenting on the stage to contractors. I'm going on Facebook Live. So when I'm standing in a board and there's a room full of people, I have practice at controlling the stage. I practice at bringing this certainty to people. And when you explain your process and you're meticulous and your report is meticulous and your references are meticulous, then there's no reason why you wouldn't be able to grab that contract, grab that deal as the expert right then. And so what I want to tell y'all is I have my very best sales training platform. It's called The Truth About Closing for Contractors. It takes you through the 5 eyes of the blue collar close. I'm offering that to you for free. I'm actually going to be offering my best course on creating more door-to-door salespeople, because in the age of technology, it's not just getting more leads off the internet, it's creating more guys like Troy, who actually was able to kind of guide me into the door and prospect for me. And yes, I am creating leads off the internet. Yes, we do get leads off of Facebook. Yes, we do get leads through the telemarketing. But more importantly, we're a team here, and nobody can replace the value of somebody like Johnny. Johnny, this is what you need to grow your roofing company, okay? How much money have you brought me? How much money have you brought me?
Probably over half of the jobs we've sold.
Well, you brought me close to $3 million. And these people, they want to know, what's it going to take for me to grow my company? Well, you're going to have to get out there and you're going to have to gain the respect of people like Johnny. You're going to have to attract top talent in your business, and that's marketing. And so the new age way to market is using network marketing, using social media, and telling your story just like you're hearing right now. And Johnny, why did you come to work for me? We talked about it for a long time.
Yeah, man.
You were probably thinking I was going to be like those other big companies that were assholes, huh?
No, I knew you. I knew you were about the game. I knew you were ready to come to work and make it happen. You were one of the first people on scene.
But I was one of the first people on scenes, is why. And he saw me out here on social media, and he was like, dude, let's get connected. And it was just one of those instant things. And that's kind of what it's going to be like for the road show that is the storm restoration market. And so now, whenever there's a storm, though, we have the blue collar marketing method where we're putting videos out before the storm. We're creating leads through Facebook. We're getting our phone to ring through Google. And so I did a course on how to do that, on how to make your phone ring off the hook, on how to self-generate 100 leads without knocking doors. And it's not that you don't have to knock doors, because you do. But sometimes these leads off the internet give you more doors to knock, give you momentum. And so I want to tell you that landing these commercial projects, what they allow someone like myself to do is give those residential leads to my salespeople and find a way to get to the biggest projects in the market. Because for me, that's the best place to spend my time. And so there's a couple different ways that you can like connect with me on this. If you're a public adjuster, if you're an attorney, and if you have a deal that's over $5 million or better, I want to collaborate to dominate. I want to duplicate my deal, and I really don't need anyone to help get this roof bought. It's 17 years old. It's smashed. You know, my best friend's a public adjuster, but he doesn't have another $5 million deal. So I'm calling all attorneys, public adjusters, and people in the marketplace with big ass deals. You want to know how to get your story out there. Sometimes you just have to speak up. I want you to get in my DM, get in my message and say, hey, Lee, let's talk about that $5 million deal. And somebody might say, hey, Lee, why would you bring a PA in or attorney in if you hadn't, you know, done everything you can to get it bought yourself? And the answer is I want that PA or attorney to give me another job. And I want to build a network and a relationship with somebody where, you know, there's about 4 or 5 people that I want to work with. I called some people today, you know, Haight Smith. I called, I got a call here with Wade Tutt. I want to work with Harvey Cohen. He might have some of the largest projects. He was on this stream. Talked to a couple different people. But guys, when you land big projects, they're what I call the trump card. Y'all know that trump card? You want to talk about building a wall? Well, the trump card is whenever you can trade with these public adjusters, these large loss deals. And I gave Bo Williamson this deal here, but I didn't get a large loss in return, even though I didn't get one in return. So you have to be careful with who you trade deals with. You got to make sure that you're going to get a deal in return, and that the man's going to do what he said he was going to do. But the point is that the blue collar marketing method, that's how you get your story out there. If you're not making Facebook lives and contacting, after I get off this stream, I'm going to end this stream in about 5 minutes. This video is going to be viewed for about 2,000 minutes. 2,000 minutes. By the end of tomorrow, this video will be viewed for 2,000 minutes. 2,000. It's going to be like 2,000 minutes. And it'll be like 6,000 minutes. And just think about that. 6,000 minutes divided by 60. That's a lot of hours. And people are hearing the message. They may buy a roof from me. They may want some training from me. They may decide to come to work with me. They may be a property manager, maybe a public adjuster that wants to work on this $5 million deal, that wants to bring me a large loss in equal. And truth is, I'm really kind to this guy named Mike. Mike is the coolest public adjuster I know. And Mike brought me a deal off of Facebook Live. I closed the job. It was a $2 million job, and it came off of Facebook Live. It was one of these deals right now. I was doing something completely unrelated to commercial sales. He said, Lee, I want to work with you. I said, hey, a lot of public adjusters want to work with me. Can you bring me a large loss project? And he did. He brought me a freaking $2 million deal, and then I referred him about $3.6 million in jobs. And so that's how it works, people. And if you would like for me to teach you how I close these large loss projects, how I can create leads on demand, and we had a guy, I don't know if you saw Rick. Rick had his $1.5 million check come in this week. It literally was generated through the funnel. He's going to make a milli off of one job. And I helped him turn it from a repair to replacement. He got the deal closed. And the coolest one is Taylor Grant. Duh. The coolest public adjuster is Taylor Grant out of Colorado. This guy, Bellator claims, the denial of the day. Y'all got to tune in and follow Taylor Grant, student of Skydiamond's Elite and friend of the Roofer Nation. I want to tell you one thing. You need people like Taylor Grant in your court. You know, Taylor will go and fight, and he will not stop, and he will go a deal for a deal, and he's legit. I'm going to tell you one thing. The blue collar marketing method is about where the old school meets the new school, because I started selling roofs before there was a GPS. Me and Donnie, when did you start selling roofs?
2006.
How long you been talking to me about coming to work for me, man? How long have we been talking?
6 years.
6 years. Sometimes it takes 6 years to get the good recruits. But the epiphany I had is that I need to be spending more time on these large loss deals. There's tons of large loss deals here in South Florida. There's new boards. There's new opportunities. And for you, it has to be one thing. You're passing these large loss deals in your market. You're driving past the biggest jobs in the market. These could be 7 figures in profit off of one job. You want to make yourself a millionaire, land one of these large loss projects. And I'm really, really excited about a partnership that I have with a company called Reonomy. I just got a text message from the CEO, Ben. Y'all are going to hear about some impactful stuff, all right? Reonomy is literally the best technology. I've tested Prospect now. I've tested CoStar. Look, Reonomy is the most effective, the most efficient. You can get the property owner's email addresses, their cell phone numbers, and you can access it from your mobile device or from your laptop, okay? The Reonomy platform is only $500 a month, or one-time fee. You can get kind of a reduced price. But the point is that you can't close commercial deals, do direct mail campaigns, get leads over the telephone, or advertise to these people without understanding some of these deals. And Reonomy is a platform. It's a software, 3 bids. We're going to Reonomy here in just a second. We're going to do a little training right now. Guys, if you want some training, you want the blue collar marketing method, it was meant to let you like dip your toe into the Sky Diamonds University. It's my best 3 courses, my best course on marketing, my best course on recruiting, my best course on landing guys that bring in $3 million to your business, like Johnny Neal. This guy's sitting right next to you. Okay, he's worked for all the other roofers, all right? But you want to know, how do you get guys like Johnny? Well, you don't get them unless they hear your story, unless they see your movement. And so I want to encourage you to tell your story more. I want to encourage you to make video content and go after the biggest jobs in the market. For me, it was an investment in personal development. It was an investment in hiring a coach, surrounding myself with different people. And so I want to give you that opportunity for actually as cheap as $500 today. You can get into my program for $500 today. It's a 2-pay. It's a $9.95 program. You get the blue collar marketing method, which is 38 videos. You get my best sales training course, which is the truth about closing for contractors. And you get my recruiting course, which is called the 30-day recruiting challenge, recruiting masterclass. All together, it's $9.97, 2 payments of $500. Click the link below. I'm going to take out here. Here goes the Knockstar movement. Quit beating your head against the wall. All right. Quit continuing to repeat the same things and getting the same results. If you're sick and tired of the results that you're getting in your roofing company, it's because you haven't duplicated your sales process fast enough. It's because you haven't got everybody on the same page. It's because you don't know how to leverage technology. It's because maybe you're not spending time with people that have beat their head against the walls just like you. And I was sick and tired of losing guys like Johnny. I was sick and tired of not being able to close deals. Chicken Hog's on here, man. I want to tell y'all something. This easiest commercial deal didn't come without blood, sweat, and tears, okay? We put a lot of hard work into it. Whenever I had a few good men, this was about 10 years ago, I brought in Marty Abercrombie, sat down with him for the first time. He believed in me as a young man. And a guy who made $1 million in the 80s, he came to sell roofs. He was wearing Dapper Dan suits. I didn't know what the heck this guy would do. He couldn't climb roofs. And I'm like, dude, I don't know how you're going to sell. But I started loading him up with leads. I had the opportunity, the gift of facilitating success, putting people in the marketplace. So he took off, he sold. And 10 years later, we're still working together. He was at the meeting. And I brought him in the meeting because he not only brings senior project management, but he looks the part. He brings security, he brings trust, and he brought Troy into the business, and we're going to work it as a team. And what happened was, it was a synergy to the room. It was a bit of certainty to the room. It was a bit of transfer of trust that I had someone to testify to the fact that not only are the projects legit, not only is this insurance legit, but Marty Abercrombie, a man who really looks the part. And sometimes a little gray goes a long way. And if you're a young guy closing jobs, don't be afraid to split your deals with some of the people. It's not that I needed to split. It was that it's better sometimes as a team, because we never knew who was going to be in that audience that could possibly take that deal away. So real quick, here are the 5 tips. Tip number 1, okay? Make sure that you interrupt every single person in there by being the most prepared person in the room. All right, you better have your investment into that proposal and an investment into creating the case studies that are similar, like really like Peyton Manning prepares for a football game. Number 3, when you get in front of somebody, you need to have enthusiasm, an infectious way to get your message across. You need to practice on how to clarify your message. This is when improving your sales skill set. This is where it really came out. All this sales practice, sales training, marketing, live videos. I got to use all those skills in the board. And, you know, Marty was like, wow, that was easy. Wow, it went good. Things were great. But realistically, guys, the way that you get to the easy commercial deals is you go through a lot of leads. And I'm going to thank everybody who shoulder to shoulder went Operation Bloody Knuckles all around, whether it was Naples or other storms, and worked on these opportunities. You know, you keep pressing against the fence until you find some kind of opening. And sometimes the deals that are the easiest to close. It's about closing commercial deals. I'm a contractor, and we landed a $5 million deal 2 days ago. My name's Haight. We teach contractors how to earn 7, 8, 9 figures. I have a $50 million roofing company. And if you're looking to do the blue collar close, which is a way that you can sit at someone's kitchen table, be respectful, talk about quality and service, not be too hardcore or pushy, go through a simple sales process, get a transfer of trust, collect contracts worth $5 million in value. You know, this is about duplicating other people's successful actions, because that's what geniuses do. Smart people learn from their own mistakes. Geniuses learn from the mistakes of others. I used to not complete my offers. One of my sales guys, he had been here and he didn't complete the offer. It almost cost him big time, buddy. Hey, how much did I pay for your offers to get completed?
Several thousand.
Johnny's smart about delegating and dispatching his work. What do you tell him about dispatch and delegate?
Yeah, you just gotta have a team, like you were saying before.
But if you're a top sales guy that sells $3 million, does it count? If you have a team,
damn straight it counts. It wouldn't have happened without you.
Yeah, dude. So I talked to another guy, Brian. Brian, what the hell is his name? Either way, he closed about $10 million in deals, and he's telling me that people at the conference were giving him a hard time because he had a team of door knockers knock his doors. Like every single smart man is going to have a canvassing team.
Yep.
Somebody maybe to help him up with the overflow of estimates when there's tons of volume.
Estimates, paperwork, follow up.